MovieWeb.com.
With the movie's second week out, and it's getting such praise,
I know.
I'm wondering, do you sort of look at the movie now a little bit differently than you did when you first saw it?
No, you know what? I'm just kind of even more proud of it. I mean, when I read it, first read the script, knew Judd was, Judd Apatow, Paul Feig's directing it, for the love of God. And then when we really knew the whole cast that was doing it, I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but I was like, how could this not do well? Like, I know half of those women, and I have for 10, 12 years. We've been doing stuff together at the Groundlings Theater. It's like, I know what they can do, and to finally get the right people to just say, like, do what you do, like, here it is. Like, they're not going to try to over-orchestrate it. And the whole shooting process was so fun and so funny. And I thought, I'm kind of tough on comedies, and if I'm laughing that hard while we're filming it, I kind of felt the whole time like we had something pretty special.
Is there a level of comfort that you get knowing and having worked with these people before that you probably wouldn't have if you were working with a new set of people that you'd never seen before?
I think for sure. I mean, every once in a while you get really lucky, but and I didn't know Ellie and Rose before, but everybody else we've all worked together, and we had the luxury of 2 weeks of rehearsing and improvising before we started shooting. So I mean, which was just such an incredible luxury. And so by the time we were actually, the first day of shooting, we all knew each other really well. We knew each other's characters. We'd been laughing for 2 weeks and like making each other, we were interviewing each other in character, and like, it was just so fun that, I think there's something reads on camera about that. I think instead of just taking 6 known people and shoving them together, it's like they cast everyone for the part. And I think that's what's, so great about Judd and Paul and Kristen and, Annie Mummel, I know, really fought to get the people that they wanted in, and it works. It's like you don't have to have somebody bizarrely famous. You have to have the right person for that part. And I think that's what this movie did, and it's a game changer, I think.
Well, in talking about your character, it's a very complex character, and I'm wondering, I know the script was really strong when you guys first got it, but when you're in those rehearsal periods, did any sort of aspect of her personality sort of bubble up through that really surprised you that we see on screen that may have not been in those first round of draft of scripts we saw?
I think, yeah. I mean, I think, again, it's like the luxury of doing the improv is like, it is amazing because you get to really solidify what you're trying to do with the character. And I think what was important to me is I had a feeling about her being very confident that I think they kind of originally had her as like a more of a nervous character. And for whatever reason, I just thought, this woman is so solid in her shoes and really confident and happy with her life. And the more we played with that, we would always be, we would all be telling stories and doing weird things, and I would always tell a Megan story where, it was kind of like a lot of almost flattering to herself, but just, I love that they gave me the freedom to kind of take her in that direction, and, having the chance to work it out before you start shooting. I mean, when is that ever not a good idea?
Well, and we've heard that you and Mummelo have a project you're working on now. I mean, is that an extension of what you guys did together on this? I know you guys knew each other before that.
Yeah, we've known each other a long time. No, it's not an extension of anything to do with Bridesmaids. It's an idea. It's totally different. It is, ironically, another big group of women. It's a big action comedy. And I'm really excited about it, really excited to start that. We're going to write that this hiatus, or this, coming up the next few months.
Well, you guys are stealing the Heisman Trophy, is that right?
Stanley Cup.
Or the Stanley Cup,
yep.
I'm sorry.
It's a bunch of Midwestern women, and some stuff happens, and again, there's a lot of heart to the movie, but we set out and steal the Stanley Cup.
Now, I want to ask you, we're going into the second weekend on this movie, and some people still haven't seen it. What would you say to those folks who are sitting there on the fence going, maybe, even though it's still getting this amazing praise?
Right. You know what? I would say, if you're thinking it's something you've seen before, or it's like one of these, I hate the term, but like chick flick, it's not. A really, really good script was written that is on top of it incredibly funny, and it's nothing. There's no stock characters. There's a good movie there and wildly funny, and it's, you know, I think that just comes along so rarely that it doesn't matter, you know, male, female, whatever it is. Funny's funny, and I think you'll love it. Or I will personally give you $10.
You will give me $10?
Sure, why not?
That's awesome. Well, it's weird. It's weird watching the movie come out when it came out last week, is all of these reviewers were like, it's not a chick flick. And from my own perspective, when I saw the trailers, I didn't automatically think it was a chick flick, and it just looked like something I wanted to see, if that makes sense.
No, I thought the same way.
What's your take on that everybody's kind of like, it's almost like they're wrapping medicine in cheese or something when they're trying to sell it.
Well, it's such a weird thing, because I think automatically you hear the title Bridesmaids, you see 6 women on a poster, and then everybody loves to, you know, throw a label on something, so it's like chick flick, and I just kept thinking it just doesn't fall in that category. I think we've all seen enough movies where it's like, you know, 2 people bump it, it's like some magical thing happens, 2 people fall in love the second they meet, and then it's hijinks. And this isn't that movie, so if you've been disappointed in the past, you will love Bridesmaids.
Oh, this is some classy. Jeez, Megan. I'm sorry, I want to apologize. I'm not even confident of which end that came out of.